Hello everyone, my name is Min, and I am your dead DM, and today I'm going to be doing an MS Paint redraw challenge. I saw where Nawnii here on YouTube posted one, and well, I'm stealing it. I'm taking the idea, I'm just yoinking it. I mean, she liked a tweet where I said I was gonna try it, so that's enough permission. It's a challenge, and it looks fun, so here we go, let's get into it. The first thing I did, personally, was set a 2-hour timer on my phone. I wanted to try and force myself to use at least that amount of time, but honestly, I only ended up working about an hour before I stopped. While the sketch plays in the background, let me state for the record that I actually started learning how to draw digitally through MS Paint with a mouse and sometimes a mouse pad. And while it's been a long time since I've had to do that, I do remember some of the hacks that I used to do, and I'm going to be outlining those throughout the video. You can see me here at the start of sketching the head, checking out the tools and seeing what will work best for me. MS Paint does have some transparency. As you can see, currently, I am taking the sketch, turning on the transparency, and then moving it over the original to check the proportions. The transparency in MS Paint is completely dependent on color 2. If you look at the top and see color, there is color 1 and color 2. Color 1 is the color you are using, and color 2 is your current transparent color. This will be important later. Next, if you select a portion of your sketch, you can resize it, but you can't rotate it. After seeing this, I figured it would be a little too hard for me personally to try and perfectly match the original, so I paid it no mind and continued on my way. The next hack is you can actually flip the canvas. Flipping the canvas is something I use a lot to get my proportions right. I use it a lot in Clip Studio Paint, but I'll also use it a lot in this video, and it's just a helpful way to check. You can find how to flip under the Rotate tab. You can flip vertically and horizontally. Moving into line art, while I haven't set it yet, I recommend doing most everything with the pencil tool. Long ago, MS Paint didn't have those brushes and weird shapes. It was a little more bare bones than it already is, and honestly, I kind of miss that. Now, while I'm testing out pencils on the side, I was thinking about if I should just go ahead and outline in purple, since I know that's my end goal, or if I should outline in black. The reason I was considering outlining in black is because Nawnii in her video outlined in black, and then seemed kind of stuck wanting to change the color later and ended up not.
I don't know. I also realized that I was coloring, or rather lining, in black, which is something I hate doing. And I just feel like if you do your lines a different color, like a dark version of a color, it looks a lot better. And I had no idea if there's a way to recolor lines in MS Paint. I guess I probably could have just used the fill tool now that I think about it, and now I kind of feel stupid. But I feel like the picture would have looked a lot better if I would have chose a like dark pink or a dark purple, but whatever. Basically, if you want an art tip from me, my art tip is don't line in pure black, line in a dark color.
And also, honestly, when I am line arting in Clip Studio Paint, I will line with black and then use a clipping layer to change it. And I feel like that's fairly common, so I chose to line in black and change it later. Once you finish your line art, the best way to get rid of your sketch is to set color 1 to whatever color you used in the sketch, and then color 2 needs to be white. And then you can just left and right click to speedily remove the red. Now another way you can do it is with the eraser. If you click the MS Paint eraser If you right click, the MS Paint eraser will only erase the color you have set in color 1. I had trouble remembering how to do this at the start, but it clicked back in. You can also go in and finesse the lines so they seem a little sharper. MS Paint has no pen pressure, so this is how you can kind of force some line interest and some tapering. Now changing the color of the line art, depending how thick you made your line art, you can just use the bucket fill for a lot of it. If you used the thickest pencil, like I did, this is fairly easy. But if you used the thinnest pencil, or you have like hard to reach pixels, you can use the same technique as you did for removing the sketch. Set your color 1 to black, and then set your color 2 to the color you want your line art to be. And then you can just right click and go over it. Most tablet pens, to my knowledge, have a right click function somewhere on the pen. So what I do is I click that right click button on my tablet pen and then hover over my Cintiq. Now moving into color, before you start, I recommend copying your line art and putting it over to the side. This is the closest you can get to layers in MS Paint. You can put what you want on the top over to the side to grab later. Now, I start with a skin color, and my character has a lot of freckles and skin imperfections, so I take the airbrush tool out of brushes and try and get pretty freckles and imperfections going. I'm not overall loving it, but I do like it better than nothing. I add on my character's moles, and then I move on to other colors. I use the default pink for the mouth, put the eyes in, and I just fill everything in. That's it. That's all I do for colors at this point, is I just fill everything in. Once I get all the flat colors in, I check the time, and I've not even hit an hour yet. So I decided to go ahead and test out some shading and show you that process. I used the eraser technique on the skin, but as I got to the hair, I personally didn't like the look of the eraser. It was just too clunky for hair at least. So I decided to get in a little closer and use the curve tool and the pencil. I don't have any real tips for this, I was kind of experimenting, but I used the thinnest lines under the curve tool and with the pencil, and just tried to feel out what would look right. There's not a light source planned, so I just did whatever I thought would look nice. And that brings us to the end where I pull the copy of the line art back over the top. I don't think there's a way to fail this challenge, so you win if you try. My closing thoughts for beginner artists of all ages. Not having a fancy program does not stop you from learning how to make art. You can start learning how to create at any level with anything. Now that being said, there are a lot more options to young artists now than there were for me back in the early 2000s, but what can I say? That's progress. If you liked this video, you can check out Nawnii's video linked below. I adore her content, and it's just 10 out of 10 would recommend. With that being said, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I really want to get to 500 subscribers by the end of 2021. That would mean a lot to me. And I genuinely hope you have a wonderful day.